Okay, so my lesson plan is a story scramble, and we're going to be doing that with the book Grumpy Bird. And, that's under the subject of comprehension. So, grade level I have is kindergarten, and the duration of the activity will be about an hour. The big idea is the students will be able to put parts of the story in the proper sequential order of the events that they occurred. They'll do this with pictures of the story, text of the story, or pictures and text of the story events. There are my standards. My objective is students will use pictures from the Grumpy Bird book and as a group place them in a proper sequential order with some prompting. It will accomplish this with 80% accuracy. So for an assessment, I'll be doing an informal assessment. I'll be an outside observer. The students put together their events of the story and showing their comprehension skills. Materials, I have Grumpy Bird by Jeremy Tanker, printed out pictures of the events in the story, cleared area for the students to sit and listen to the story, and cleared area for students to work in groups. I also will assign the groups before the reading. For vocabulary, I have sequence, retell, and details. For my procedure, start with getting the students' attention. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. I'll explain the book we're going to read. I'll read the title and introduce the author. Before we do prediction, I ask for predictions of what will happen. We'll pick apart the covers with the animals in the front, the bird in the front, and the animals in the back as well, and the writing on the back. Once we pick that apart, I'll have the students, tell me what they think is going to happen, and then I'll explain that when we're done reading, we're going to retell the story. So they want to pay close attention to the details. So I'll explain what details are, and I'll explain what retelling is, and then I'll read the book. When we finish, they'll go into their groups of 3 or 4, depending on the class. They'll meet in their assigned areas in the classroom with their packet of pictures. Then as a group, they'll do the activity of placing the pictures into the proper order of events, and then as they finish, they'll raise their hand for me to come and check their work. Once I check their work and they're correct, they'll go back to their seats, and as a summary, we'll kind of discuss their predictions and which of the predictions played out in the book. For adaptations, I have an auditory disability. So for a student who is hard of hearing, I'll make sure that the text is at the bottom of each picture explaining the scene. And then for ELL learners, I'll have the text in English on the top of the picture and then their native language at the bottom of the picture. For a fun family connection, in our story, the bird is grumpy and he takes a walk. So I have the kids go home and, with a piece of paper that says that, and then they can, with the follow-up question, what do you do when you're feeling grumpy? And then they'll write down what their family says, and they can bring it in and share it with the class. So I have some pictures from the book that I use for them to put in order. Obviously blown up a little better to fit the page, a little bigger. Here's one without any text on it. You can see he's waking up, he's grumpy. So this is like the first event of the book. And then this is a little later on in the book, but again, you can see that all of his friends are following him, and there's no text, so they have to do it with just the picture. And then this one, again, I would blow it up a little better to fit the page. And here we'd have the text, and I'd make that bigger, probably white, so it was clear to see for the students. That way they could put them in order. And that is it.